I'm gonna increase your club head speed like I did with Brett when I took him from 80 miles an hour to 85 miles an hour by simply helping him understand how to use his arms. Here's exactly what we talked about. Believe it or not, one of the easiest ways to increase club head speed, especially as we become experienced golfers, older golfers, is to first of all understand that the arms can create a lot of speed. A lot of golfers out there are trying to really move their body and hit the golf ball with just their body movement. Now the body's involved, but the arms are where the real secret is at. And this is where Brett was. He was kind of a golfer, he was kind of a bigger guy, and he was really tight in his arms. So here's what we did. So I'm gonna show you the first thing I did with him, then we're gonna hit a couple golf balls, and we got a training aid. We're gonna kind of walk through this along with you, so hopefully you can pick up 5 miles an hour yourself. First thing I had him do is I said, all right, Brett, put your lead foot forward. He was a right-handed golfer. Put your left foot forward, your trail foot back, and make sure your stance is relatively kind of close in terms of stance width. And all I want you to do is just, you can feel like you rotate your shoulders a little bit, but just get your arms swinging back and through. See how I'm doing this? Boom. We just went slow, and that's what I would recommend to you. Go slow at first, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to retrain your brain that, hey, I can swing my arms without turning my body a lot. We did a couple of these. We did a little, okay. Now the key is make sure they're continuous. See how I'm doing that? Then I had him actually just go ahead and hit a shot. And of course, I didn't say that, don't matter how far it goes, Brett, just get in there, lead foot forward, trail foot back, okay, and just kind of swing the arms. That was pretty good, wasn't it, Nick? Okay. Nick gave me a thumbs up on that. It was actually a nice little baby draw on that. Be sure you give us a thumbs up, and be sure to tell us where you're from. We love hearing where you're from. Of course, it's one of our favorite things to look for each morning. So Brett did that, and of course he hit the ball, first of all, almost as far as his normal swing because his arms actually started to move. So now that I taught him the basic concept and he understood, okay, here's where we're going with this. We're going to increase arm speed, not body speed, and I had buy-in. Here's the next step I did with him. And then I gave him a little training aid, which we'll talk about here in a second. Let's take this to the next level. Let's add some speed to it. Take your regular stance now, and what I want you to do is swing the club back and through, continuous motion, but I want you to swing it as fast as you can. So I'm gonna do it slow at first, and then the second time I'll do it a little bit quicker. So it went like this. See how I did it? You could actually even hear the swoosh on that. Now, why does that work? Well, number one is when the club is in continuous motion and it's going back and through, it forces our body to stabilize. Because if you start drifting and turning, or you're tight or you're tense, you're gonna feel like you're gonna fall out of balance. So subconsciously, the brain is gonna naturally stabilize your body. You're gonna naturally find balance, and you're gonna see your arm speed pick up. So here we go. We did this, and I said, all right, see if you can really get that thing humming. He was like, wow, and you could hear the sound. And then what I did is, all right, now that you got the feel, take your regular setup and let's just hit a shot. So here we go, I had him set up. Boom, okay, and that had a little bit more pop to it. We first understood the concept and taught him how the arms could create more speed. Did that with this drill. Then we said, all right, let's pick up the pace of it, which I just showed you. And then the last thing we did is I grabbed a training aid. This is the orange whip. A lot of you might have seen this before. It's whippy, and it looks like it's got an orange on the end. That's why we call it Orange Whip. And we love the guys over at Orange Whip. Great guys, Jim and his whole team. These guys are fantastic. They make a bunch of good stuff, and we like their stuff. So why we use it. With the Orange Whip, because it's longer and it's heavier, okay, and it's kind of whippy, you can do the same drills that I just did. Can't hit a golf ball, but you can do the same drills, but it adds a level of difficulty to it because the club is whippy and it's got some weight. Let's take it to the next level, Brett. So we did these at first, okay? And at first he was like, whoa, Todd. He felt like he was gonna move around a little bit. So it engaged his body, engaged his subconscious to really feel like he was more stable. Did a couple of those, we hit a couple shots, then we went to this drill where I said, all right, now put it in continuous motion and see if you can get that thing swinging. And all of a sudden he's like, wow, boom, I had him grab his driver, and just like that, he picked up 5 miles per hour with his driver. Now that we've hopefully done that for you, check out our next video. And if you want to personally work with us on your golf game, check out vlscoaching.com.